3, lesson 3. Module 3, lesson 3. I present my tab so that Miss, oh, that's not the right one. There it is. Okay. So Miss Hayden got my little math problem up there. Okay, now listen closely. You guys all have this in front of you so you can listen. Okay, Mary and Ann are trying to figure out whose path to the park is longer. You're looking at a map showing Mary's path and Ann's path from each of their houses to the park. So we can figure out which path is, how can we figure out which path is longer? Jimmy, it shows you right there on there. It says park. There you go. Okay. So how do you think we could figure out how far it is? Try to talk to a partner, to your neighbors. Jimmy and Danny talk, Elizabeth and Max, Ellie, you three, those trifecta over there. Miss Hayden, how do you think you could measure how far each path was?
So if I had the thing, I would like look at it and see how long it is.
It's in front of you. I'm presenting it on my screen, so you do have it. You're looking at what everybody else is looking at.
Well, I can't see it.
Weird. Okay, you know what I think you need? Weird. It should show it. In the bottom right-hand corner, there's like a little box with an arrow in it. Try clicking on that. No, you guys don't need a pencil. You're just turning and talking how you're going to solve that. Nope. Okay. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm sorry. That's wrong. Let's see. Press on those little dots in the bottom right-hand side. Let me see what that shows. Show me click on the little dots. Okay. Click on the one with all the boxes. It says change layout. Click on the second one, tiled. See if that helps. There you go. Now click on the X. And get an exit out. There you go. Now you can see it. So handy being able to have GoGuardian to help you through that. Okay. So, all right. So how did we discuss? And I'm sorry, Hayden, you're gonna have to just look at that and see what you think. How do you think is the best way to figure out how far they went? Max, what did you and your partner discuss? How would you figure it out? That's what I'm asking. How would you figure it out? Nope, that's not what I'm asking. What do you mean more easier? That's not anything what I asked. I asked, how would you figure out how far each one was? Okay, I didn't ask which path you would take. I'd say, how would you figure out how long each path was? How would you do that? Ellie, what did you and your partners discuss? Anaya, we're not playing with that water bottle. Stick it in front of you.
Longer at the bottom one.
Why would you think the top one is longer than the bottom one? Second graders, you guys are being way too loud. There's no reason you should be talking. I cannot look right now, Troy. You're gonna have to wait. Like you could go get on Zern while you wait. Okay, Anaya, can you? Second graders, Do not make me ask you again. Put bubbles in your mouths. You should not be talking. I can't even hear Ellie. And she's actually doing a good job of speaking pretty loud, but you guys are being very loud.
The bottom one is easier to go.
Second graders, I'm not playing. Stop talking. Sophia, that's not an option. Do the work.
Because the bottom one.
Jimmy. Shh.
The bottom is easy because you only this much.
Okay. How did you figure out how much it was? That's the question. So you're not answering the question. You're telling me which one you think is easier, and that's good. But I want to know how you would find out which one was longer, or which one was shorter. Hayden, what do you think?
I think the one's longer because it's 7 inches. I counted from winter to the top, and then I counted the bottom one. And I think that the top one has 7 inches, and the other one on the bottom has 5 inches. That's why I thought the top one was longer.
How are you measuring it? That's my question. How are you measuring it? If you're saying, Jimmy, go wash your hands. You don't pull down your mask to pick your nose. Okay, how do you think we would measure that? Anaya, what do you think? I want to know why you think that. How are you measuring it? That's what the question is. Guys, look at me. First graders, you are not answering the right question. You just keep telling me, oh, I think this one's longer. I think this one's longer. That's not what I asked. I didn't ask, do you think Mary's path is longer or Ann's path is longer? What I asked is, how can you find out which one's longer? How are you going to measure it? Troy, you were told to get on Zern while you wait. So how are you going to measure it? Think about it. Talk some more with your partners. Talk some more with your partners. How could you find out how long that is? What, Louise? What do you mean help? Come here. Let me see it. Which one are you having problems with? Okay, can I write on here? Just write it up and down. All I'm doing is writing the problem. And you know how to add straight down. Try that now. Hayden, how do you think we can measure it?
By counting it.
By counting what?
The line for the pond.
Ding, 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 ding. Confetti, confetti, confetti. Okay, I'm gonna let Hayden tell everybody what she told me. Loud and proud, Hayden. How would you solve that?
How I would solve it is like counting the ponds.
The what?
Counting the ponds.
That's not what you told me a minute ago. Not counting the ponds. I don't even know what ponds you're talking about.
Oh, I know.
The line.
The lines. There you go. You're not counting ponds, whatever that is. You're counting lines. How many of you guys thought about that or think that's a good idea now? Say, Haiti, what are you doing up here? Race. Because you lost your big eraser? No, I don't have a bunch more big erasers hanging out. I don't know whose that one that is. You just take that pencil. Don't use up all that eraser in one thing. Okay. All right. Very good. So you would count the lines. So let's count those. Hold on. I got to get mine out because Jimmy, please be quiet and hold on for half a second, please. I just said, hold on a second. I was looking at my mini version, but I gotta get out my big one so I can show you guys since I can't project it on the board. Okay, here's mine. It looks exactly like yours. The reason you each got one is because so that projected. So let's count on Mary's. Let's just count each line. Okay, and you do yours on the one on there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we counted 11 for Mary. So Mary, we got 11 lines. Okay, 11. All right, now let's count Ann's. Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You don't believe us, Jimmy? You need us to try that again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Jimmy, I just did it twice.
3, 4.
Okay, no. So that's your problem. You're not counting. So look, just like on this one, we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't lose the paper on me. 8, 9, 10, 11. On this one, you can't just go straight across because that's not her path, right?
I also need
She goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
That doesn't even make sense. This is supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4.
You're just counting blocks. You're not counting the lines. You're counting the whole block, it's just one, but that's not what we're doing. We're counting the line that she walked. She walked this line, then she walked this line, then she walked this line, that's 3 lines. Then she walked here, that's 4. Then she walked over one more, 5. One more, 6. Up 1, 7. Over 1, 8. Over one last one, 9. Okay? No. See, you did that as one job. That's not. Look how there's a line right here. So you count this as 1, 2 things. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
78 right now.
You need a minute to process that. Okay. Jimmy, you're not counting the way that it works, but we'll talk about it in a minute. Oh, I'm gonna let you process that. Jimmy, I'm not arguing with you. That's not how it works. I'm gonna let you think about it for a minute. Okay, my friend Jimmy is trying to say, well, part of it, he's just trying to count straight across, but that's not how she walked, right? So we say, Jimmy, we love you, but that's not how she walked, right? She didn't go just straight across that path. And then also, we have to count this one right there as 2. Because there's that line right there breaking it up. So it goes 1, 2. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4 down is 4. 5 and 6 across again. 7 is up. 8, 9. Okay? All right. So who had the shorter path? Who had the shorter path? Anaya? Ann's path is shorter, right? Yes, very good. Very good. So the way that that Mary went, because she went over and up and over and down and over and over and down and over and up, and she added some extra area in there to walk. Whereas Anne's was a little bit less because she did go down and then she went over and then up one. So it added a little bit less. What? No, just keep it right now. Go. Get out of here. Okay, now I'm trying to figure out where the heck is Beth's path supposed to be. They all of a sudden they're talking about Beth. Who's Beth and where is she? Okay, let's see here. Okay. So new girl Beth moves into the neighborhood and walks a longer path. Hey, Jimmy, could you be quiet for just a minute, honey? Think inside your head. And walks a longer path than Mary's. And we figured out that Mary's path is longer than Anne's. So Beth's path would also have to be longer than Anne's. Right? So putting them in order, if we say Mary has we said Beth moves in and she has an even longer path than Mary, we'd say Beth would be the longest. Hers is longer than Mary's. And then Mary's, Jimmy. And then Mary's is longer than Anne's. That would be in order from longest to shortest. Okay, if Beth moved in and her path is longer than Mary's, we know Mary's is longer than Anne's, then it goes Beth, Mary, Anne. Longest to shortest. Okay, and Mary's would be right in the middle, right? Okay. All right. So I want to know, are you guys, when we're making a path here to line up for recess, do you guys want the longest path? Get your arms out of your shirt, please. Do you want the longest path or do you want the shortest path? Oh, I want you not to shout out because that's very disrespectful of your classmates. Try and talk to your classmates and tell them why. Would you want the longest path or the shortest path?
Well, that's why I said just go back. Because they want you to change it using just
Okay. So what do we think? I can't call on you if you're making so much noise. Danny, what do you think? Are we going to line up and take the longest path to recess or the shortest path? Do your classmates agree with you or disagree? Somebody says, yes, we're going to take the longest. If you say no, let's take the shortest. What do you think, Ellie? Why? Why would you take the shortest path?
Because it's shorter.
what?
It's shorter than
So do you think the longer path is going to take more time? Oh, so do you think if we took a shorter path, Louise, you need to stay in your own space, please. Do not poke your neighbor. Okay, if you take the first graders, if you take the shorter path, it takes less time, right? You're going to get to recess faster. And you can play more. Exactly. Exactly. Okay.
Less than 100 species of materials means more than 100 whose answer is correct. That's correct.
Okay, I want you guys to come up and get your worksheet for the day. Come up and get your worksheet. Miss Hayden, this should be in your workbook. It is lesson 3 in your little workbook that I sent home, lesson 3 worksheet.
It's still at my friend Melissa's though.
Okay, well, hold
I'll
on.
get it later though.
Go, take that one. No, take that one. Okay. So it's gonna look like this, Hayden, when you get it. And actually, I can. It's gonna look like this.
Okay, Miss Cousin, I forgot I was muted.
Okay, so you guys remember those little measuring things I gave you yesterday? You're probably gonna want to use those today for this first one.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So it says like if she took a string and measured with a string, but I think it's gonna be easier for you guys to.
I want to measure the string.
Hey, no, listen to what I'm saying. You're not measuring with string because the string. I don't have one that's not super stretchy, and it's a problem because then it moves over. So then it says, in a playroom, Lulu tried to piece of string there. I use a measure distance from the house to the park. She took some more string and tried to measure the distance between the park and the store, but she ran out of string, which is the longer path. So you've got the dollhouse to the park, and then you've got the park to the store. So which one is longer? So sweetie. So boys and girls, this is where how you have to line it up. So when you do this, you need to line up your stuff. So I need to get you a measuring blanket. Well, you have to solve your problem. Jimmy, stop. You're not drawing over. Get out your little measures. Okay? Even though I told you repeatedly to keep it, you should still have the paper in your desk with warm. And if you don't, Miss Kennison getting very grouchy because I asked you several times yesterday. I said, Jimmy, pick that off the floor and put it in your desk because you need it for tomorrow. Okay. All right. So look, we line up. I need Anaya looking also. Put that sweater down. We're not playing with it. Okay. Oh, Hayden left. What the heck, Hayden? Okay. Well, when you measure this, you need to line it up from the dot of one to the dot on the other. Please be quiet. From the dot of one to the dot of the other to see how long it is. Okay, and then tell me which one is longer, and you circle either the dollhouse to the park or the park to the store. Okay? So that's what you need to do on that first one. You need to measure it with your little measure and tell me which one is longer. The dollhouse to the park or the park to the store. Sweetie, that's not, no. You need to line it up. Put it on the dot here to the dot there and see how many it takes. See? And then you do the dot there to the dot here.
What are we supposed to be?
Oh my gosh, Jimmy, I'm gonna lose my mind. Where is your measure? I thought you just shouted out at me. I found it. Yeah, get out of your desk. Okay, next time when I tell you over and over and over and over, Jimmy, you are going to need that tomorrow. Look at that. You didn't even bother looking for it. This is the one you cut out. I already did the little one. So you're not cut out anymore. And stick it this time. Put it in this little front part of your desk. Move it. Okay, time. That way you can use it again and again, okay? All right, so measure and then you need, that's not what you did. You need to circle here. Is the dollhouse to this part longer? Or is the part to the store longer? Did you actually measure to the part? Stop! You don't get to just circle a random word. Kelly, look, listen. The dollhouse to the park. Is that longer or is the park to the store longer? So is it longer from here, the dollhouse to the park? Let's see, that takes about 7, right? And then over here, from the park to the store. That takes 9. So which one is longer? The park to the store. So you would circle that whole sentence. Not whatever you want, not random words. The whole sentence.
Miss Kennison, Joy, what's the?
What?
Yeah, cut out the whole thing, that's fine. Oh my goodness gracious. I'll go tell, I'm gonna be right back. Stay out of space. Stay out of space.
9 plus 1. 10 plus 4. What, Louise?
Wait 15 minutes.
10.
Can you get in your seat, please? What are you doing? Did you cut yourself? Can you address you with baby scissors?
What? You doing something with scissors?
He cut himself with the scissors. How he did it, you're talented. You're talented, Max. He barely got it. Just a teeny little thing. We'll solve it with the Band-Aid. Well, don't squeeze it. Now you're making it bleed. It's just a teeny tiny little thing. You don't need to squeeze it and try to make it bleed even more. Don't do that. Mr. Max, Mr. Pritchard has a Band-Aid for you.
You know how to put on a Band-Aid? I will get
Okay,
this
so
started.
you've got your little strip, honey. So it says, what is the shortest rectangle? So measure the rectangles and then find out which one is the shortest, the smallest. Okay, do you measure just in the middle or do you measure starting at an end? At an end, right? Next.
I was joking.
Because in this one, you measure it.
Okay.
Because in this one,
And it was cool at the time.
So yeah, so then you just write that.
because in this one, you measure it.
All right.
I thought that was like a common sense thing, but apparently not.